Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, PattSun, and today we're going to be taking a look at r/surviving infidelity, where OP's cheating wife is now losing her mind because OP is ignoring her. Let's begin. My wife cheated on me, and we're going through the divorce process, but we still live in the same house. She is gaslighting the hell out of me, and I feel like staying under the same roof is horrible for my mental health. I need some advice. Posted by Reddit user Swizzlestick.
As the title suggests, my wife cheated on me multiple times throughout the course of the last few months. I had a sneaking suspicion pretty much immediately when the affair started. However, she was so convincing when I talked with her. I was never vindictive or overly confrontational when I brought it up. But man, when I did, she'd flip the script on me like I'm some kind of bad guy for trying to discuss our relationship and questioning her integrity. Anyways, I found out. She was constantly on her phone. And one night, not proud of this, I did what I had to do and read her text messages. I confronted her the next morning about the affair, and she lied. I confronted her again, this time telling her I have seen her text messages, and she lied again. Finally, I had to literally recite some of the messages I read, and she just fell silent. Her response to all of this was not to apologize, but instead she told me if I didn't push her to that point, she never would have done it. I know I'm an anonymous stranger on the internet. But guys, when I tell you I have never in my life done anything to my wife that would make her cheat, I'm not kidding. I've never been physical with her, never yelled at her, never really done anything that would make me question my own integrity. Truly, I'm not perfect, but I honestly have been a good husband to her. Well now, living with her has been hell. She is telling anyone and everyone we know that I have emotionally abused her. Even after finding out, I have never been mean, yelled, etc. I've told her I'm heartbroken and we're definitely getting a divorce, but honestly, that's where it starts and ends. Every little word that comes out of my mouth she twists like I'm some kind of bad guy. She claims I'm gaslighting her, which is crazy because she is gaslighting me. She's always mean and confrontational when I see her. And honestly, I don't really say anything because I just know it'll be taken the wrong way or twisted in a way I didn't intend and she'll start an argument. What do I do? Why is she being so horrible? Shouldn't I be the one mad at her? Honestly, I just want to coast out this divorce process and move on. But she is so overly combative it's making a cordial divorce very, very difficult. At first, her gaslighting was getting to me. I was questioning myself hard. But I've had some time to step back and think rationally, and what she is claiming simply is not true. Someone help a brother out, because I'm struggling. Edit 1. Holy shit, the amount of advice and support I've gotten from you all is mind-blowing. To anyone that contributed, I truly mean this, thank you. Edit 2. It's been a day since I posted. I implemented the gray rock method immediately following this post, and it is working. It's driving her crazy, and in return, keeping me grounded. This post has saved my sanity. Thank you all so much. Now for the update. Been 3 weeks since my original post, so I figured I'd post an update. Long story short, my wife had an affair, and was really making me feel horrible about myself. Turning her friends against me like I'm a monster, and genuinely just being a really, uncharacteristically, awful human being. If you're going through the divorce process, or your spouse cheated on you and is making you feel bad about it, I feel like I have some solid stuff to share. My soon-to-be ex-wife and I are well on our way through the divorce process now. I didn't kick the can too much on the divorce, didn't second-guess myself, kept the course, and because of that I'm almost free. My soon-to-be ex has done and said some extremely crazy, illogical, and hurtful things along the way. At this point, every word she says further seals this divorce and solidifies my decision. I've been told I made her cheat. I've been told I abused her. Definitely not. I've been gaslighted on multiple occasions during our settlement that the morally right thing to do is XYZ, and the list goes on. Sometimes I wonder if she's even living on planet Earth with how she's thinking about things. This divorce has opened my eyes quite a bit, and I'm realizing I was a little bit of a sucker. I love her with my whole heart, and because of that, I've allowed her to manipulate my emotions along the way, question myself, etc. I fell into an empathy trap, and what I mean by that is I empathized with her even when the things she thought or said made no sense. I unintentionally fueled completely irrational thoughts. The script has been flipped entirely. She doesn't even know how to interact with me when she can no longer manipulate me. Thank you to all of your wonderful people who recommended Grey Rock. And because of that, the only thing she can do is get mad, explode, etc. essentially go into an unprovoked rage. If I snapped one day and called her every name in the book, it would be the equivalent of resuscitating her. It would give her relief, not make her feel worse, which is twisted in every way, but I know it's the truth. Anyways, I haven't given her an inch. Not a single inch. I'm not mean. I'm not aggressive. I'm not vindictive. I'm none of those things, and never have been. I'm confident, I'm grounded, and I'm thinking rationally and logically. Not letting my heart take the wheel, not slipping up or losing my cool, and certainly not letting her manipulate me any further. She's still in her cheater's fog. She still feels justified for her decisions, etc. I have not, and doubt I ever will, received an apology. Not from her anyhow. Her family has apologized profusely, which is appreciated, but doesn't necessarily cover up the hurt I experienced. I will admit in this moment, the hurt I see in her family far outweighs the hurt I feel for losing my wife. They're good people. It is unfortunate the apple fell far, far from the tree. In a few short weeks I'm a free man. Not sure when the fog will be lifted for her, but I do have sympathy for her to a capacity. There will be a day she wakes up. A day where reality and real life catches up with her. Don't know if that's a few months, a year, or half a lifetime, but it'll come. There will be a day she is sitting in her home, alone, and the burning fling she had will begin to die out. I empathize with her, because the pain she will feel in that moment will be exactly what I felt. Absolutely crushed, physically sick to my stomach, and an emotional mess. Truly, I was a phenomenal husband. It is now, and always has been my personality to be a chipper smiling face for her, jovial, and a rock-solid shoulder to lean on. Reliable, loyal, and loving would all be understatements, and she will grow to recognize that she hit the lotto on her first go-round and nuked the marriage to pieces with what she'll one day recall as the biggest mistake of her life. A fling, an exciting affair, etc. cannot and never will be able to replace a lifetime partner who understands and willingly accepts genuine commitment. She will one day learn and understand that. I've put in my time. I've experienced the hurt. I've reflected on myself, our marriage, and what led us to this point. I sought professional counsel to make sure I was giving myself the opportunity to decompress my thoughts and emotions. I've read literature. I've critically analyzed myself and my behavior to try and pinpoint exactly what it was that led her to do what she did. Fact is, nothing I did led her to cheat. Nothing. I wasn't perfect. Nobody is. But I loved her. I would work and make sacrifices for her. And the fact of the matter is that wasn't a two-way street. The lies, the manipulation, all of the wild things she says she truly may believe, but they're not coming from a place of rationality. She gave up on a marriage that I was putting 100% effort into, and had an affair on someone that would have gone to the moon and back for her. It destroyed my confidence, not going to lie, but in these moments of absolute emotional agony and adversity, it will make me a better man on the other side. Guys, seriously, if you're unhappy in a marriage, communicate. Do not cheat. And if you do cheat, own it. Look internally. Don't further hurt those people around you and blame them. Hundreds of hours of ruminating, thinking about myself, blaming myself, etc. all could have been prevented by a simple phrase from my soon-to-be ex. Hey, I'm sorry, I fucked up. I don't know if anyone here needs to hear this, but if you're currently playing the blame game, down on your dauber, feeling like you took a hit to your confidence, etc., stop. Reflecting on yourself is powerful, and I think critique is good to a capacity, but you don't drive someone to an affair. You cannot accept blame for another individual's character flaw, period. If things are messed up, you've tried counseling, gone down every avenue to correct things, etc., a divorce is the appropriate next step, not a secret affair. I'll leave you with this. My soon-to-be ex looked me directly into my eyes and said with 100% confidence, I'm not the type of person to have an affair. That's not who I am. You led me to that point. If you've ever heard that phrase before, or hear it in the future, package it up in a pretty box, make sure it's nice and sealed, and shove it right where the sun doesn't shine. That doesn't even make sense. I'd love to rob a bank and tell the officers I'm not the type of person to rob a bank, and the government made me do it, but I'm a rational adult and that's now how it works. Thanks for reading and allowing me to share my thoughts, and thank you for all of the advice on my original post. This sub has been monumental in my sanity for the past 3 weeks.
I think you've come to realize that you're sadder that you're about to become a divorced man rather than the woman you are losing in the divorce. You've said many times that it's not within your character to throw in the towel, but not wanting to be a quitter is not a valid reason to stay with someone who has already quit on you. Look man, I'm sorry you're going through this, but honestly, it was good to read your story. I was able to relate a little bit. It's laughable now, yes, I know, but that's a story for another day. For now, it's time for today's second story. I can't deal with my girlfriend's anxiety triggers any longer. I think I'm done. Posted by Reddit user ThrowRA, I'm done.
I'm 34 and I've been dating my girlfriend 29 for over 2 years now. Everything has really been great except for one specific problem. She randomly gets triggered when I initiate physical contact with her when we're in public. This is not a regular thing, but when it happens, she does not respond well. The triggers are not particularly intimate. Examples would be putting my arm around her, leaning close to her, kissing her on the cheek, etc. Things that would be normal for a close couple. Problem is she gets triggered randomly, without warning, and sometimes we can go months without an issue. She has never once had a problem when we're alone together. I also need to make clear she has specifically asked me to not avoid touching her in public. I've offered to keep my distance when we're out together, and she has insisted I shouldn't, and that she is hoping to get over it. She has spoken to her therapist about it. I honestly have never liked it. I sometimes feel like I have to walk on eggshells around her, but we've mostly dealt with it. But on Friday we were out with a group of friends and her response was just awful. She was sitting at the bar talking with a group. I came up next to her and hugged her around her waist. She turned to look at me and then elbowed me hard in the chest, hard enough to leave a bruise, and yelled back the fuck up off of me, in front of her sisters and a dozen of our friends. Literally no one had any idea how to respond. In that moment, I was done. A few people texted me to ask if I was okay. I just responded asking that they please make sure she gets back to her apartment safe. I walked out and she didn't even notice. I blocked her number and deleted her off social media, called an Uber home, packed a suitcase, and hopped into my car to leave and spend Christmas with my family instead of hers. My brother and sister know the story and think I did the right thing. I haven't told anyone else in my family yet. Her mom and sisters have been calling and texting me nonstop since then, trying to get me to give her another chance. Her sister helped me pick out an engagement ring. I was going to propose over New Year's. I don't know if she even knows this. I honestly can't even imagine proposing to her anymore, after what she did in front of everyone. We know I don't really think I can forgive her. I don't know if anything can convince me to go back at this point.
Excuse me, what? You were seriously going to propose to that woman? Well, now that you're awake, OP, I want you to take some time to think and reflect. What exactly happened that made you think that she was going to be a great wife to you for the rest of your life? That she will be a good mother to your children? I'm just curious, man. I just want to know how exactly you arrived at that conclusion. But regardless, OP, this looks like a classic case of escalation to me. She started in private, and you took it. Now it's with friends and family around. If you take her back now, it will happen again and again and again because you keep accepting her damn behavior. Who knows where it will escalate next? That woman is just crazy. She tells you to do it and then physically attacks you when you do. She should not be in a relationship acting like this. And dude, I want you to listen here. She is putting you in serious danger. Because one day, she will do this in public, around people, and someone will take it that you're some creep that crossed a line and then act on it. Then you will have your ass beaten up. You don't want that to happen. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my YouTube channel for you to watch absolutely free. So consider clicking that super thanks just below the video title, or you can use my PayPal in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, make sure to subscribe to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.